Imagine this. You're coming home after a normal vacation. You board your plane, buckle your seatbelt, close your eyes, and fall asleep, thinking that in just a few hours you'll be back with the people you love. But when you wake up and the plane lands, your entire world is gone. At the airport, instead of smiling faces or welcome signs, you're met by soldiers holding automatic weapons aimed straight at you. Government officials step forward and tell you something impossible. The world you left behind is no longer the same. According to them, 5.5 years have passed. You were officially declared dead. Your bank accounts were closed, your house was sold, and the person who loved you most mourned your death and eventually married someone else. But that isn't the most terrifying part. The real horror is what you brought back with you from that flight. A voice only you can hear, and a truth so dangerous it could threaten the future of humanity itself. This is the story of Montego Air Flight 828, a journey where science ends and miracles, or curses, begin. The story starts on April 7, 2013, at a bustling airport in Jamaica. The Stone family is preparing to fly back to New York after their vacation. The terminal is packed, and the airline announces an overbooking issue. Passengers who volunteer to take a later flight are offered a $400 travel voucher. That's when fate steps in. Michaela Stone, a police detective still struggling with the trauma of losing her best friend, decides to take the offer. She just wants a moment of peace. Her brother, Ben Stone, a mathematician, chooses to stay with her and board the later flight, Flight 828, along with his young son, Cal. Ben's wife, Grace, their daughter, Olive, and the grandparents take the original flight home. For Ben, this decision isn't about the money. It's about time. Cal is battling leukemia. Doctors have told Ben that his son may have only 6 months left to live. Ben doesn't know whether this flight will be one of Cal's last memories or the beginning of something unimaginable. Midway through the flight, everything goes wrong. Without warning, the plane is violently hit by a massive storm. The aircraft shakes like it's being torn apart. Luggage crashes down. Passengers scream as the metal body of the plane groans under the pressure. And in the middle of that chaos, young Cal sees something no one else can. A blinding white light breaks through the clouds, beautiful, powerful, and almost otherworldly. In a calm, innocent voice, Cal whispers, "Everything is connected." Seconds later, the turbulence stops. The storm vanishes. When the pilot contacts New York for landing clearance, something feels off. The voice from air traffic control sounds shaken. Instead of a civilian airport, the plane is ordered to land at a military base. As the wheels hit the runway, passengers look out the windows, and their faces drain of color. Armed soldiers surround the plane. Tactical units stand ready. This isn't a welcome, it's a lockdown. NSA Director Robert Vance boards the aircraft and delivers news that defies all logic. Today is not April 7, 2013, he says. It is November 4, 2018. You have been missing for 2,044 days. For the passengers, the flight lasted only a few hours. For the rest of the world, 5.5 years passed. The reunions are devastating. Michaela learns her mother died 2 years earlier. But the deepest wound comes when she discovers that her fiancé, Jared, who believed she was dead, married her best friend, Lourdes. In a single moment, her entire life shatters. Ben's reality is just as painful. His daughter, Olive, is no longer a child. She's a troubled teenager. Grace, convinced Ben was dead, allowed another man, Danny, into her life. And the strangest detail of all, Cal and Olive were twins, but now Olive is 5.5 years older than her brother. Time betrayed them. Yet buried inside this tragedy is something that feels like a miracle. During the years they were gone, medical science advanced. Cal's cancer, once considered a death sentence, is now curable. The treatment was developed by Dr. Sanvi Bal, who, unbelievably, was also a passenger on Flight 828. If that isn't fate, what is? But soon, the passengers realize they didn't just return. They came back changed. Strange voices begin whispering inside their minds, guiding them, warning them, commanding them. One day, Michaela is riding a bus when a voice suddenly echoes in her head, "Slow down." She panics and shouts at the driver. He slams the brakes just in time to avoid hitting a child who runs into the street. Michaela is shaken, but the voices don't stop. Another message follows: set them free. The calling leads her to a secured compound with 2 aggressive guard dogs. At first, she thinks she's meant to free the animals, but when she breaks inside, she discovers the truth. 2 young girls kidnapped and hidden away, victims of a case the police failed to solve. Michaela rescues them. That's when it becomes clear. The passengers of Flight 828 possess something extraordinary. They call these experiences the callings. Then comes the moment that changes everything. One night, every passenger from Flight 828 feels the same pull, an overwhelming urge to return to the airport where the plane is being stored. Then, Michaela and others arrive independently, only to find each other standing there. They all followed the same calling. As they stare at the aircraft, trying to understand what it represents, the impossible happens. The plane suddenly explodes, a massive blast with no clear cause. The NSA is left stunned. The aircraft was under constant surveillance, yet it self-destructed, as if choosing to take its secrets to the grave. And with that explosion, one truth becomes clear. The mystery of Flight 828 has only just begun.